In the spring, you're going to want to register for English 102. This will be a little bit different from English 101. This is a research-based writing course, and there will be a departmental final at the end.
I hate writing. I don't know when I'm ever going to use this.
Well, I wouldn't be quite so quick to hate English. I have a feeling that you'll actually be using your writing skills a lot more than you think. As a psychology major, won't you have to be able to do research and write reports?
Yeah.
Well, English 102 will help you to learn how to conduct research and use your critical thinking skills. It will also help you to be able to put your thoughts down on paper in a logical and meaningful way.
I know it's important, but I'm really not good at this. Can you tell me more about the departmental final?
Sure. From what I understand, as long as you go to class and you do the work, you should do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend Will took this class like 3 times before he could pass that stupid test. So I'm not looking forward to this one bit.
Yeah, me either, but there's nothing we can do about it, so...
All right, yeah. Let's start this stupid class.
All right.
If you turn the page, you'll see the attendance policy for this course. Obviously, it's important to go to class for all of your courses, but in this class in particular, we'll start a lot of our writing assignments while we're in class. We'll do journaling, we'll start a lot of our rough drafts, and we'll do peer review once those papers are done. So it's very important that you come to class, attend regularly, and if you miss class, that you find out what the assignments were so that you can make them up. That brings us to the proficiency, so let me tell you how that works. Throughout the semester, you'll write several essays. Now, I know many of you may have established a habit in previous English classes of staying up the night before in order to crank out your essay, but in this class, you'll see that we have rough draft deadlines as well as final draft deadlines. So you'll have to do rough drafts and then take some time after the draft for peer review. I'll look over the paper. You'll also have the opportunity to take it to a tutor in the writing center and then revise it again for the final draft. We want to make sure that the essays that you write are all ones that are appropriate for your proficiency portfolio. At the end of the semester, you'll choose your best 2 papers to go into your proficiency portfolio. These should be well-developed argumentative research essays with works cited pages that have gone through several revisions and are representative of your best work. Towards the end of the semester, you'll write one more paper, the proficiency statement. I won't be able to help you with the statement, but you will be able to use the writing center or your classmates to help you as you work. This assignment shows the proficiency grader your ability to read directions, write a paper, revise and edit it on your own, but still be able to do it outside of class, as opposed to the proficiency final exam, which tests your in-class writing ability. A week to 10 days before the final exam, the readings for the exam will be posted in Blackboard in the English Proficiency Assessment course. You'll have time to read and annotate those readings, and you'll need to bring them to the final exam along with your other class textbooks. Your proficiency portfolio will be graded by a team of graders to determine whether it's passing or failing. 2 graders will look at it to see if it passes, and if it's questionable, it will go on to 2 more readers. So 4 readers would need to fail your proficiency portfolio for it to fail. If any 2 readers pass it, then it passes. So for your portfolio to fail, 4 different portfolio graders, and the graders are made up of different faculty here at the university, will have to decide that your portfolio was a fail. If you fail, then of course you would fail the course. If you pass, then you would receive the course grade that you had going into the final exam. So you have to pass the class with a passing grade and pass that proficiency. If you only needed to pass the proficiency, we could just all go home and take the proficiency right now, right? So it's a combination of the course and the proficiency exam. So if you, again, pass the proficiency, at least 2 graders have to pass you to pass, then you pass. To fail, 4 graders have to have decided that your portfolio did not meet those minimal standards required for proficiency. So, if you're getting a C in the class and you fail the proficiency, you would get an F in the course. If you have a C in the class and you pass the proficiency, then you would get a C. Any questions?
Is the final exam hard?
The final exam is an essay. You get a choice between 2 prompts, and you have to write a 500-word essay in 2 hours. But when we look at the proficiency and grade it, we're grading it as a whole. So we're looking at your ability to do that timed in-class writing for the final exam, as well as your ability to do the proficiency statement and the papers that you've written all semester and had a chance to revise. So we're really looking at all of those as a whole.
You mean if we failed the test, we failed the class, even if we had a good grade going into the final exam?
Yes, but it's very rare for a student to have a high grade going into the final and then fail the final. Again, on the proficiency, we're looking for students that aren't meeting very minimal standards of proficiency. So if you've been doing well most of the semester, chances are very good that you are going to pass the proficiency exam. I know I'm usually able to tell students before they go into the exam whether or not they're going to do well. And students that are having trouble, I'll say, you know, we need to keep our fingers crossed and work really hard on the final exam to make sure that we pass and meet those minimal standards. I do also have the opportunity, if you are doing very well and you fail, I have the opportunity to appeal that failing grade on the proficiency portfolio. So generally, students aren't summarily failed just for making one mistake or doing poorly on the exam.
It is too pretty to be in here writing a paper about global warming.
Well, nobody told you to write it on that.
I know, but what else was I gonna write it on?
I don't know, but I know I'm digging my topic. I'm writing about raising the minimum wage, and I can totally relate to that.
Me too.
Because, I mean, what can you do with $5.35 an hour, you know? And so I'm putting out all my rage in this paper, you know, and I'm highly motivated.
What's your motivation?
I'm not taking this class 3 times.
Right?
So I'm listening to what Ms. Richardson said, and I'm just going to write a strong essay, and that'll be a good backup for my class. And yes, I'm getting back to work.
Hey, do you want to listen to my thesis real
Yeah,
quick?
sure.
Okay, thesis. Global warming.
The readings for the final exam have now been posted in Blackboard in the English Proficiency Assessment class. So over the weekend, you want to make sure you print out copies of those readings, take a look at them, read them over carefully. You may want to take some notes. It's just fine to write on your printouts and bring those with you to the final exam. You can meet as a group to go over them. You can get extra help from the Writing Center. I just can't help you go over those readings. So enjoy. Have a good weekend.
See, I'm a little behind on my essays. I haven't got to revise them or write my proficiency statement.
Oh no, what happened? You were doing so well at the beginning of the semester, but you seem to sort of run out of steam here at the end.
I don't know, things got complicated, but I really want to pass, if I still can. Could you look at these my two essays, please?
Sure, I'll take a look at what you've got. We're trying to pick the best 2 for your proficiency portfolio.
Yeah.
I remember these. I think this is one of your strongest essays. I would say you still have a couple of problems here on the works cited page with MLA format that need to be fixed before the proficiency exam. This one's also very strong, although I know we talked about maybe adding some more personal examples to the paper.
Okay.
Have you started on your proficiency statement?
No, I was wondering if you could help me with that.
No, well, that's the one thing that I can't help you with, okay? I can't critique the proficiency statement or go over it with you, but the Writing Center can, or you can submit it to the online tutors, or you can get together with some of your classmates and go over strategies for writing a good proficiency statement. Okay? So all I can say at this point is I'll go over these again with you, and then you'll have another chance to revise them. You need to get started on that proficiency statement and make sure you've done the readings for the final exam. Okay?
I'll get on that right
All right. Good luck.
now. Okay.
How do we organize these again?
So your proficiency portfolio will contain your 2 best essays for the semester. You'll include them on the right side of the folder with your final clean copies on top and your graded draft and any other rough drafts that you have underneath. On top of those 2, which will be stapled together nicely, you'll put your proficiency statement. All of that goes on the right side of the folder. On the left side of the folder, you'll include your proficiency checklist, which you find in the Blackboard course, and a blue book to take your final exam. Any questions?
Do we need to include photocopies?
No, you don't have to include photocopies of your sources. But you do want to make sure that you've made all the corrections on your papers before you print them out. You have the graded copies, so you know any problems that you had with your works cited pages need to be corrected. You print them out and then attach those clean copies on top. And of course, make sure that you've got the blue book for your final exam on the left side of the portfolio.
Where do we write our name?
You don't want to write your name anywhere in the portfolio because we grade these anonymously, so we don't know the student or the teacher. On the outside of the portfolio, you'll write your W number and you'll write a code name that the teacher will give you during the last week of the semester. In the inside of the portfolio, you're also not going to put your name anywhere. On your proficiency checklist, you use your W number, and you can put the same thing on your blue book. Use a W number or alias on your proficiency statement. And on your papers, when you revise them, take out your name and put in your W number and the teacher's name. But on your rough drafts, just go back with either whiteout or black marker and mark out your name and my name wherever they've appeared in your MLA headers. Okay. All right, looks like it's almost time to go. Remember that on Monday morning, you need to show up bright and early, 8 a.m. sharp for the final exam. Even being a few minutes late could really throw you off on the test, so make sure you give yourself the full 2 hours to take the final exam. Get plenty of sleep. Bring your readings with you to the final. You can bring a dictionary and your course books, pen or pencil. Just make sure you're on time, and I'll see you then. Good luck.
So do you think we're gonna pass?
I hope so. I just want it to be over. I'm stressing out so much. And like, what if I can't think of something to write?
Don't worry, we're gonna pass.
I hope so.
I mean, if we work hard, you know, can help.
I am so glad that's over.
At least the topic was something we could write about, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the readings did help. I think I did okay.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Okay. You wanna get some coffee or something?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The final is weak, but the backups are strong, so is the statement. What do you think?
I see what you mean, but overall the student has done a good job with the research and the documentation. The thesis is strong, and so is the development. There's a few grammar errors, but they don't interfere with the argument, so I say it's passing.
I agree. Let's put this back away. So we're the fourth readers on these, right? This one just isn't passing as I like, but I like the reader's sense of humor. The final has paragraphs that are only 3 sentences long. His or her ideas just aren't developed. And the student has incorrect documentation on all of these essays. It's a failing portfolio.
Well, the instructor might appeal, but I don't think it would be approved. I hope the students understand that this is up to the instructor, and only in rare cases are they're going to be granted. They have to have a high A or a B going into the final.
I really don't know if these students realize how hard we try to pass portfolios. We aren't out to fail them. Well, let's pass it.
I don't think I can look.
Wait, don't look. I'll check. You know, I'm the man. Don't look.
Okay, I'm not gonna look.
Paused. We both paused.
Yes.
Yes.
God, you know, I knew I was going to.
Yeah, right.
Well, I did.
Do you know what you're gonna take next semester?
I don't even care right now. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
we
me
should
too.
go celebrate. Party.
Cheers.